After years of being a father, my stepson threatened me, and my wife took his side. I had always tried to be a father to him, not just in name, but in every possible way, helping with homework, teaching him how to ride a bike, staying up late when he had nightmares. For years I thought we had built something resembling trust, something like a bond. I loved him as much as I could, even though he wasn't my biological child, but one evening, everything shattered. It started with a text, innocuous at first, a reminder about dinner. Then more messages came, sharp and demanding, filled with an edge I hadn't heard before. By the time I returned home that night, I already felt the tension crawling in my chest. He was waiting in the living room when I walked in, a smirk on his face that didn't reach his eyes. "We need to talk," he said, almost casually. I nodded, keeping my tone calm. "Sure, what's on your mind?" He leaned forward, voice low. "You know the money Mom keeps in the account? I want it, all of it." I laughed nervously, thinking he was joking. "That's not how this works. That's not yours to—" "Sign the papers," he interrupted sharply. "Or, you know what happens." A chill ran down my spine. He wasn't joking. There was something dangerous in his tone, a threat that didn't need words to make itself clear. I looked at him, stunned, trying to read the young man who had once been shy, timid, and scared of the dark. That boy was gone. Before I could respond, my wife walked in. I expected her to diffuse the situation, to remind him who I was and what our family meant. Instead, she looked at me coldly. "You need to listen to him," she said. "What?" I choked out. "I said you need to sign the papers, or—" "Well, you know," she added, her voice calm but absolute. "He's not wrong." I felt my world tilt. The person I trusted most had just taken the side of someone who was threatening me, someone I had raised as a son. I tried to reason with her. "We're a family. You can't just let him threaten me." She shrugged, almost apathetically. "Sometimes family means letting go. Sometimes it means protecting your own." Protecting her son at my expense. That's what it came down to. I felt a wave of anger and betrayal unlike anything I had known. I had given years of my life, countless nights, countless sacrifices, and it seemed like it meant nothing now. The person I thought was my partner, my ally, had abandoned me in the moment I needed her most. I left that night. I didn't pack much, but I carried the weight of disbelief and heartbreak with me. I stayed with a friend, replaying the events over and over, trying to make sense of it. Days turned into weeks. I tried talking to her, reasoning, pleading even, but she refused to see that what she was doing was wrong. She had chosen her son over me, over the life we had built together. The reality hit hard. Blood ties sometimes outweigh the bonds you create, no matter how real they feel. Eventually, I realized I couldn't stay in a house where I wasn't safe, where the people I loved most had turned against me. I had to rebuild, from scratch if necessary. It was painful, humiliating, and yet, strangely, freeing. I had spent years living for everyone else, putting their comfort above my own. Now, I had a choice: let their betrayal define me, or use it as the push to reclaim my life. I chose the latter. It took time, years, really, but I rebuilt my confidence, my sense of safety, my sense of self. I learned that being a father, a stepfather, doesn't always guarantee respect or loyalty. Love doesn't always protect you. Sometimes it teaches you the hardest lessons, that trust can be broken, and the people you think will always have your back may turn away when you need them most. I don't speak to my stepson much now. My wife, well, we drifted apart. Our marriage survived legally, but the intimacy, the trust, the family I once thought we were, it's gone. And I survived. Not as a victim, not as a passive observer of betrayal, but as someone who refused to let threats, manipulation, or misplaced loyalty control my life. Years of fatherhood had taught me patience and love. That night taught me boundaries and strength. And in the end, the lesson was clear: respect is earned, protection is mutual, and sometimes, walking away is the only way to truly reclaim yourself.